I got something a little different for you today. Usually I ask you to think for yourself, but not today. I'm just going to tell you, and it's something I believe every American, including you, should be doing. So stick with me to the end. Something we all should be doing. Imagine with me a United States that's not too different from our own, but an alternate reality. 1770s. The U.S. was not even the U.S. at that time. They were a bunch of colonies, colonized by an island across the pond. And that island, England, was very oppressive in a lot of different ways. Tyranny being spread across the land. So what did those boys do? Well, they lined up in fields in Massachusetts and New Jersey and elsewhere throughout New England, and they stood up to that tyrannical government with yams, sweet potatoes. And they took those yams and they hurled them at an oppressive government. Oh, and it worked, and they became free. We became free. It was so effective that the founding fathers, once they kicked the redcoats out, they wrote down on a piece of paper rules for the days ahead for future generations. And one of the top rules they wrote down was, yeah, you could say whatever you want, but also you could own all the yams you want. Why? Well, to protect us from a tyrannical government. And super, super effective it was and is. Now, down through the coming ages, the government that was to be also became tyrannical in 1,000 different ways. But one thing they did to anybody that wanted to own a yam in the days ahead, they made everyone write down on a piece of paper. They called it a 4473. Piece of paper, whenever you were to acquire a new yam, you had to let the oppressive government know, hey, I'm getting a yam. Why were they squirmy about that? Well, the new government, which soon became the government, figured out, hey, maybe those yams won't just protect us from without, they also will prevent us from within having tyranny, and no oppressive government likes that. So they made everybody write that down on a piece of paper. Hey, I'm getting a yam. 4473. Not good. In just recent days, in this alternate universe, we found out that the government also wants to start tracking through credit cards everyone that is acquiring yams. Makes me nervous. I don't know about y'all. So anyone that makes a credit card purchase both for yams and yam pieces, it's going to be tracked. 9,000 different yam distributors in North America or in the United States, all tracked via credit card. It's going to be searchable by the tyrannical government. But you say there's another option to acquiring yams. You can buy yam parts, put them together in your garage, and you have what's called ghost yams. They're fantastic. But I want to challenge you that ghost yams purchased by a credit card still trackable. There's one and only one way to acquire yams that doesn't have a paper trail of any sort, and those are yams purchased by cash. What I want to ask each of you to do, or at least to consider doing, is to purchase a yam with cash and cash only. You may say, hey, I've had ghost yams before. But did you have them delivered to your house, to your address? Did you pay with a credit card or a debit card? Is there a paper trail? This one, in most states, still legal despite the tyrannical government. I want to challenge all of y'all, without being too tongue-in-cheek or being too mysterious, buy a yam that works. Buy a yam from a reputable company, or you can do this one as well. I'm fine with that as long as there is no paper trail between you and Mr. Casper the Ghost. Buy one. Practice with it. Make sure it works. Buy all sorts of the seasonings and sprinklings that go with the yams. Maybe even keep it separate from your other yams. I don't think we're in a place right now yet where they're going to be coming and looking for the yams, but this one that just happened last week has got me nervous. Buy a yam and buy it with cash, practice with it, and make sure there is no paper trail between you and a tyrannical government.